Hi, and welcome to the channel. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on myself and tell you a little bit about what this channel is for and what I hope to do with it. A couple of fun facts about me. I've been around computers pretty much my whole life. I don't remember actually, a time when there wasn't a computer somewhere in my life. By that I mean, my dad worked at a university. There were computers at the university. They had IBM 360, 370, as well as other machines. And I remember sitting next to the key punch, and anytime he had a rejected card, he'd throw it on the ground, and I'd scribble on it with crayons. My grandfather was a statistician. He worked for a power company for his entire career. When he first started, they were doing things with pencil and paper and slide rules. By the time that he retired, they had computers. And when he retired, he decided he was so fascinated with computers, he didn't want to give them up. And this was a couple of years into the microcomputer revolution. You know, it's well past 75, whenever the Altair 8800s came out. You know, he wanted something that was backed by a big company that he knew was going to be around for many years to come. So he became one of the first adopters of the TRS-80 Model 1, and he expanded it very rapidly. From the time that he first got that machine, he introduced me to it, and he pushed me in the direction of using that computer. I would sit on his knee, we would do basic programs and play video games, and before long I was too big to still sit on his knee, and I was still fascinated by this thing. A couple of fun facts about me: I'm a few months older than the Intel 8080, and I'm about a year older than the first deliveries of the Altair 8800 computer. See, in 1983, my dad decided it was time for us to get a computer into our house. He bought an Osborne 1. That Osborne had a modem. Dennis Rekla, who worked with my dad at the time, introduced us to BBSs. Anybody who's done much work with communication software on CP/M probably recognizes Dennis's name. He ran a BBS here in the DFW area, as well as maintained the BBS list for a short time. Because of him, I got started down a road that led me to where I am today. If my dad had not bought that computer with the modem in it, and if Dennis hadn't showed him how to use it, I don't know if I would be standing here talking to you right now. With that said, you know, I used the computer so much, and I was on the phone line so much, that my dad wasn't getting any work done on his computer. He was also talking about taking it to work with him, because at that time companies didn't buy desktop computers for their employees, but he could see the benefit of having his own computer at work. So he bought me a VIC-20. He didn't buy me a modem for the VIC-20. I would have enjoyed that computer a lot more if I had, but I played around with that computer quite a lot as well. And, you know, I had a lot of experience dialing into single-line BBSs. There were a lot of BBSs in the area that were run on Apple IIs and TRS-80s, Commodore 64, and the whole bit, all the microcomputers you can think of. But one of these things about all those BBSs was that they were all a single-line BBS. If you called in and somebody was on the board, you got a busy signal and you had to wait. In about 1986 or so, I discovered Diversidial. There was a Diversidial station here in Dallas called RMAC, RMAC. It stood for Rovers Multi-User Active Conference. I think whenever I first started calling RMAC, it only had 7 lines. So I didn't realize that it was running on an Apple IIe, that it was stuffed with a bunch of modems. I just figured it was something like CompuServe running on a mainframe or something like that, maybe a mini computer. Because how could an Apple II multitask between multiple users, right? Just blew my mind whenever I found out that it actually was a 1 megahertz Apple IIe that was running that system. It was around that same time, maybe the summer of '87, that I ended up getting an Apple IIc, and the Apple IIc was the first computer that I had that had really fun games to play. Plus, it was really easy to write communications and BBS software for it, so I had a lot of fun with that. It wasn't until I was in high school that I got my own PC. The family had a PC at the business, but in high school I got a 386 SX16, had a whopping 1 meg of RAM, 40 megs of hard drive, and that was whenever I started noticing that multi-line BBSs as a whole really started to happen. You know, by the late 80s or so, you know, 300 baud just started seeming really slow. Of course, Diversidial could only go 300 baud, plus users of systems like DDial wanted to have more features like message bases or file downloads all in the same system, and then they could go in and chat with people. In order to do that, people started having to build such systems on IBM PCs, and I started getting involved with helping friends of mine set up multi-line BBSs. At that point in my life, I was about ready to graduate from high school, and I was really torn. I wanted to follow down my father's footsteps of being an electronics engineer, but I also kind of wanted to go out and be a computer scientist. I wasn't sure exactly which direction to go, so I kind of took up an interest in both things and pursued both as an avenue to build a career out of. When my friend Jack Beach approached me and said, hey, you know some stuff about Unix, you know some stuff about running multi-line BBSs, why don't we start up an ISP? And so that got me to where I am today, which is, I work for a large IT firm that everybody's heard of everywhere in the world, basically doing the same job for the last 19 years or so. I started posting unlisted videos on this channel just because I had the channel to show my friends what I was doing with electronics and vintage computers and stuff. I started posting some of those publicly, and that got people talking to me. And as I started to realize that some of the people who were talking to me on YouTube, I also talked to on IRC or in D-Dial, or they were on various forums and stuff like that. I started to make some connections there. It was a lot of fun getting to know folks that way, but I never really put a lot of effort into actually the production value of what I was making. So pretty much all of those videos were all made with shaky cell phone video with me behind the camera, just talking and talking and talking, and a lot of times you didn't see exactly what I was doing, or it wasn't in focus right. Or what I'm trying to do now, though, is that you'll notice that the camera is perfectly still. It's on a tripod. You'll notice that it's perfectly clear, at least of me. Some of the stuff back here is going to be a little bit fuzzier because of the lens that I'm using on the camera, but better audio, and so a little bit better video. And I'm going to be standing in front of the camera a lot more often. I'll be talking directly to you a lot more often. I find that whenever I talk directly to you and you can see me, I tend to connect with you more. You pay more attention to what I'm saying. And hopefully that makes it to where you want to leave a comment so you can connect back to me. I really want this channel to be a two-way street. If there's something that I've said that interests you and you need more information about it, leave me a comment and I will expand upon it either in the comment section, or if it's a broad enough subject, I'd like to make a video to cover that extra detail. Likewise, if I made a mistake, please let me know. So anyway, I'm going to try and have regular featured content. You've already noticed most likely that I have a couple of modem videos out there, a segment that I'm calling Modem Monday. Whenever I first started that, I figured I would do one a week. I had computer troubles. I couldn't get the second video fully rendered until a month after the first video. The thing is, with me being a modem collector, I probably have enough modems to where even if I did do one modem video a week, I could probably have years of content. That said, one thing that I've discovered out of doing the videos in this new format is that I don't think I would be capable of making more than one video in a week. But I want to add more regular segments. Maybe I'll start putting out one video a week on various different topics, and maybe I'll have 4 separate segments. For other things that I think are interesting outside of the scope of those segments, maybe I'll produce a little one-off video here and there to talk about it, kind of like what I did with the disc jacket video a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Now you know a little bit more about me, you know a little bit more about what I'm trying to do with the channel here. I hope to start producing some videos of some interesting computer systems again. Until next time, you guys take care. Click like, click subscribe, leave me comments, etc., etc. Y'all have a good day. Bye.